he is self-condemned, and you may be seated in. And what Paul did was, Titus was a young fellow. And what Paul did was he had to write back to Titus, and because he was young, he had to remind him to stick with the gospel, because there were some things that were going on that needed to be addressed. And Paul always had a way of sending a letter back. But can you imagine that if God allows you, inspire you to write a letter to somewhere, or even a church that is so divinely inspired that it will cause people to change. And it was that because of what Paul did, because we know the history of Paul. It was nothing that Paul did that he could have saved himself. Amen. There's nothing that we can do that we can save ourselves. But what this last lesson of 2024 going into 2025 is doing is simply saying, doing what is good to please God. Yes. And don't be a divisive person. And a lot of times we spend too much time with people that cause division in the church. Yes. Number one, we spend too much time because we entertain and we listen to their reasoning of causing division. Paul said Paul told Titus, listen, you deal with them 2 times. And after that, you leave them alone. Why? Because people like that stop the ministry, and because we have people like that, ministries become unhealthy. And like the old saying is, one bad apple spoils the bunch. If we got some weak Christians in the midst of the congregation, guess where they gonna flow? Right with the weak. And it's the washing of regeneration. And I just wrote down, there was a water baptism, but now we have been washed in the blood of Jesus and have been made new. Do we really believe that? Yes, God. Thank you. We know that we go through the